Well, Aggies with the victory over New Mexico and taking the regular season conference championship. Spencer Nelson here with Scott Gerard. Scotty,
hey, you just want to take this thing over? That's all good.
Well, I heard him say go ahead, and you're coordinating, you're facilitating. There's a lot going on down here, and I thought I'd just chime in.
I'm all for it, man. All for it. Utah State, your 2025-2026 Mountain West Conference outright champions. And the Aggies, as Mason Falslev and everybody else on this team celebrating, and the Aggies getting it done. How about that? Utah State gets the win, and the Aggies will be the 1 seed going into the conference tournament next week. And I might add, what do you get for your hard work? UNLV in the quarterfinals, most likely.
Here's the deal, okay? Yeah, from a perspective of, they've had a hard time against him. They've lost to him twice. But here's the other perspective, and this is the delusion when you're younger and you're fired up and you're positive. Honestly, you're like, I want those guys.
Yeah.
They've gotten us twice. I want those guys. I want to make sure we send them home with a loss so they don't remember the last 2 wins that they got from us. So that's the other part of it. I mean, both teams are going to be ready for that game. It is going to be a noon, barn burner. And who knows? Maybe I think Sundance Wicks would be offended by what we're talking about.
Absolutely would. All right, so let me print out the bracket as close as I can right now. Let's see what other scores are going on right now. So it's over. Boise State beat Colorado State. Wyoming's leading San Jose, as you would expect. So let's go ahead and have Wyoming winning, Nevada over Air Force, and Grand Canyon over Fresno. So let's calculate the seeds there, and what we have is, did my internet go down? This is a really bad time. All right, so Utah State will be the 1 seed. That moves, Utah State's the 1. San Diego State is now the 2. New Mexico is the 3. Grand Canyon is the 4. So Utah State will play the first game on Thursday morning. They will then UNLV and Wyoming will play the first game on Wednesday. The winner of that game, Utah State will get. Then Nevada and Air Force will take on Grand Canyon. The winner of Colorado State and Fresno will take on San Diego State. The Aztecs, I got to imagine, are pretty happy with what's going on. And then Boise State and San Jose will take on New Mexico, the winner of that game. So if Utah State's going to go to the Mountain West Conference Championship, they most likely will have to go through UNLV and Grand Canyon. And then who knows on the other end?
To be honest with you, they're going to have to win tough games. It's going to take whatever. Yep. But honestly, probably 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever it was, I thought the 2 toughest matchups for Utah State, if you're looking at all those teams, UNLV and Grand Canyon. I feel like New Mexico is a better matchup, and San Diego State's actually a better matchup, even though we got blasted by them at their place. But, it's conference tournament time, right? You're going to play hard teams. You're going to play them on a neutral court, and it's going to be difficult. Whoever's playing their best basketball, whoever's going to guard the best and catch a little bit of fire in a bottle is going to win that tournament. Because, like I said, there's no clear-cut NBA dudes that are going to run the show. It's going to be competitive, and there's 7 teams that could go down there and win this thing.
So an interesting situation here. I was talking to some people before the game, and because Utah State waited until after the game for senior night, they did say that they were going to try to keep the fans in the stands and then honor the seniors and then let them come down for the net cutting ceremony. Well, the herd lives by their own rules.
Yeah.
And so as soon as that, especially with the emotions that went into this game as well.
As they should. You're not getting in front of a herd of buffalo like that.
No. That Mississippi bloodhound of a fan base was going to make it happen. So it'll be interesting. They're going to start cutting down the nets right now, and then we'll see exactly what we're going to have going forward. We'll be on the air for a little bit. We've got Jazz and Mammoth on our flagship station, but Carson Templin's going to join us right now as the Aggies get the victory tonight and are your outright Mountain West Conference champions. Carson, that's got to feel pretty good to hear.
Oh, you have no idea. No idea.
Guys made it interesting, but before we get to the ending, let's just talk about the game as a whole. Talk about New Mexico fighting. Hall was incredible. All those things. Just talk about competing tonight.
Man, it was a war. You know, both teams knew what this game was staked for. Number 1 seed in the Mountain West, outright champions. You know, Jake played his ass off. Oh, I don't know if it's
no, you're good. No.
He played really good, and you know, it came down to the final minutes. You know, we were all scared at the end. You know, with those fouls and stuff, but we were able to pull it out. So I think we're just happy to be champs.
So, you know, being a Mountain West Conference champion is nice. Being an outright champion, not having to share it with anybody, that means a little something special, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's funny that this scenario happened my freshman year and this year. So it's kind of written like a storybook. It's definitely fun to win it outright. I don't like sharing.
No, so when do you, I mean, you're going to sit there, you're going to enjoy this for a little bit, but then it's business time. Everybody's 0-0 coming up next week.
Yeah. We've never been to the championship game of Mountain West Tournament while I'm here. So the goal is to get there this year and win it.
Okay. You're going to have to go probably, I mean, is what it looks like. You're going to have to go through UNLV and then Grand Canyon. A couple teams that, I mean, you got to win tough games no matter what. But as you think about the tournament, you get a few days to prepare. What's important to you guys?
It's important that we're healthy, first of all. I think we'll get a day or two of rest to get our bodies back healthy and, you know, clean up some things that we've had. You know, we've had a lot of games these past 2 weeks. That first of all. And then second of all, just focusing on personnel and matchups. And our coaches do a great job of doing the scouting reports, so just following them.
So when you look at this season that you've had, and it's been a remarkable run, does it feel like you've accomplished anything, or does it feel like you still have so much left to play for this year?
We're definitely happy with Mountain West Championship. It's our first goal of our first season, but we're on to season 2 here, the postseason. So we can be happy, but we can't be satisfied. We're definitely not satisfied. We want to go win some games in March.
Okay, what's it been like last game in the Spectrum this year? Just give it to us.
Man, it was emotional, honestly. Before the game, I'm looking around at a packed Spectrum, and it's my last time in here playing with a lot of these guys, you know. We got 5 seniors this year who are all really good players, and it's my last time playing with Drake, and we spent 2 years together, so it's kind of emotional. But, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. Winning the Mountain West Championship on our court on the last game of the season, it's like a movie.
Yeah, it really is, too.
Like a movie.
And when you look at New Mexico, you knew you weren't going to beat them by 20. You know, you got them really good in Albuquerque. You knew you were going to get their best shot. And I got to imagine you kind of want it that way, the fact that it was just right down to the wire.
No doubt. I mean, I'll take the win any way we can get it.
For sure.
But it was definitely fun. They gave us a really good shot, and they played great. You know, credit to them.
Hey, go enjoy it.
Thanks, Scotty G.
Enough of us.
Hey, good job, man. Way to go. Congrats.
Appreciate
Good luck down there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
There he is. Carson Templin. Utah State gets it done. Aggies are now Mountain West Conference regular season champs. What a night tonight for Utah State.
You really do when you're starting out a season. I mean, you have the immediate goal of, hey, win your next game. But big picture, you're trying to win the regular season of your conference. You're trying to get to the conference tournament and win the conference tournament and then the NCAA tournament. So you look at those 3 boxes that they want to check. Mission accomplished on box number 1. Being able to win the regular season conference championship of the Mountain West is an enormous accomplishment and something that Coach Calhoun, his staff, all these players should be really, really proud of, because it took a lot to get there. And it started when? It started last June.
Yeah.
When everyone came and were here and all through the summer and then through this season. So, yeah, props to these guys, and it's something they should feel really, really good about accomplishing.
Utah State, your Mountain West Conference regular season champs. We continue on with your post-game show, brought to you by Farm Bureau agent Brandon Jensen. Contact Brandon right now, 435-752-4800. It's your future. Let's protect it. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Summers, owner of Master Auto Tech in Brigham City and Logan. You know, alignment issues aren't always obvious, but if your steering wheel isn't straight and your car pulls to one side or your tires are wearing unevenly, chances are you are out of alignment. Right now, Master Auto Tech is offering a 4-wheel alignment for just $80. We've got 25 locations across Utah, including Logan, Brigham City, and Ogden. We'll make sure it's done right the first time. Bring it in. We'll take care of you.
Your trusted, helpful expert, Master Auto Tech.
Hey, it's JD here, and with the new year comes that familiar feeling of wanting a fresh start. We all make resolutions, eat better, be healthier, do better, but for some, the resolution that matters most is getting sober. That's why I want to tell you about Renaissance Ranch. They specialize in a faith-based, clinically proven addiction recovery. They know what it takes to break free for good. Call or visit renaissanceranch.net and make this the year that addiction no longer controls your story. Renaissance Ranch, hope, healing, and recovery. Need a great deal near USU? Mention Aggie 79 and score a room at the Baum Motel for just $79. Enjoy charming, homey hospitality in downtown Logan. You'll love the clean, spacious rooms and friendly, attentive staff. Take advantage of free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and a seasonal outdoor pool. At that price, it can't be beat. $79 rooms with Aggie 79 at the Baum Motel. Value every day of the week. Call 435-752-5220. That's 752-5220.
Over the past few years, strong and crazy weather patterns have battered various parts of the country. Northern Utah and southern Idaho are not immune from its share of wild weather. Be prepared for power outages with a Generac backup generator from Golden Spike Electric. They are your local source for Generac sales and service. Generac keeps you in control when bad weather strikes. Golden Spike Electric, powering your peace of mind. Online at gsegenerators.com or call 257-3016. They also service other models.
This Aggie broadcast is brought to you by Advanced Heating and Air, 3-time Best of Northern Utah gold medalist on News Talk KVNU, where Utah State is always number one.
Nervous victory over the New Mexico Lobos, but pulling out the victory. And right now celebrating senior night, Drake Allen with his wife and baby. Getting a cheer from the crowd. MJ Collins has come through. Colby King has come through, and just recognizing these seniors and what they've accomplished. It's been a great senior class. Calhoun did a good job of keeping the guys he needed to here, and then bringing in a few additional pieces like MJ Collins and Colby King for the final year of their college career.
Really, these seniors that have come in, Colby King, MJ Collins. And, you lived in the recruiting world, not necessarily the craziness that we have now in the recruiting world. But
I didn't have the bags of cash.
No. Those were a little bit more hidden by other schools back in the day.
Yeah. Other schools.
Yeah, no, I know. But when you look at trying to identify guys and having to identify them very quickly because there's this massive gold rush out there. And you're like, okay, we got to zero in on a guy. We got to bring him in. And you don't really have time to do your due diligence. You hope they fit in your locker room. And these guys have really fit into the culture here at Utah State.
Yeah, Calhoun did a great job of recruiting guys that have been able to step in and fit in great. I know I've talked with the dudes that I knew, whether it's Carson or Mason Drake coming back from teams in the past. And they said that they've really enjoyed this team. Great guys in the locker room, great personalities. And yeah, the interesting thing, and maybe our listeners know this, but you talk about the rush to get guys in the portal and how quickly you have to make decisions. It's interesting to see what AI is doing right now, in that there's software out there that you can upload how you play, style of play, and AI will do analysis to tell you who in the portal fits your system the best.
Wow.
And then this is where it's kind of rough with numbers, but also tell you what the market value is for that player. So it's interesting how schools are using AI to just find the guy for their system. And it may not be the most productive or the guy who scored the most points or anything, but based on how you play, AI tells you who the top 3-point guards or whoever you're looking for, and then gives you an idea. But the hard part on the money side is the market's moving so quickly and is changing so quickly. I remember a couple of years ago where, that Boise State Cardenas, he was making a chunk of money that you're like, oh, that's pretty good. If he would have played the next year, the market, he would have made 5 times as much as he made. And so it's really interesting. And now with revenue sharing, how much schools can pay, that's equally as important, that you're not overpaying for dudes. But it's not like the NBA where all that data is public, right?
Yeah.
And so it's so much harder to be able to assess that. So
and you got agents that are like, oh, yeah, he's got this
he's
much.
got this. Great Osabor's making $9 million at Washington. I mean, just throwing stuff out there.
Well, and here's the thing. And, coaches mentioned this, but Dayton Albury got the offer from New Mexico and wanted, I think deep down wanted to stay here in Logan. And he expressed what that number was. Utah State said, okay, we can keep Dayton Albury, or we can add, and I believe for that combined amount, MJ Collins and Colby King. And as much as everybody loved Dayton Albury, that was a no-brainer. And as the season played out, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, you've got to use your money right. It brings professional basketball, I mean the NBA, into it, and they did a great job. The school raised money, boosters raised money, paid for this this roster, and they maximized what they could get out of it, and you can't ask much more for more than a regular season conference championship. Now, obviously, the next step, right?
Yeah.
It's the next step, but up to this point, they've accomplished everything they needed to in winning this regular season conference championship.
And if you want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world, Everlight Solar has open positions in person and remote. Apply online at everlightsolar.com/jobs. I think for the most part, my voice is held up, but now I think it's on its last lap. They are about to cut down the nets here, and then hopefully we'll have Jared Calhoun. We got to be out of here by 5 o'clock, so we'll take a break, come back, and stall as long as we can. If we're unable to stay on the air long enough to get Coach, I'll record an interview, and we'll have something for you posted up online.
You'll do great. You'll do great.
Thank you.
I have full confidence in you in what you're about to do. You're going to do great.
I love it. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone and the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. We'll take a quick break, come back live here in the Spectrum in Logan as Utah State, the outright Mountain West Conference champions, on Learfield.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Helping your money do more means putting yourself in the financial driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better or more literal way to do that than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you'll enjoy no payments for 90 days, and that means getting more mileage out of every cent you spend. So make your money move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
Hi, this is Gene Needham of S.E. Needham Jewelers. For more than a century, we have been selling diamond engagement rings. For the best price on diamonds, you must shop with a trained eye. This means you should compare many diamonds, use magnification, and ask specific questions. Why not? It will likely be the most important jewelry purchase you'll ever make. Right now on display, we have Utah's largest selection of beautifully cut diamonds. Our diamonds simply sparkle more, and they're offered at internet pricing. Shop and compare, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Utah State, your Mountain West Conference champs, as the Aggies knock off the New Mexico Lobos, 94-90. MJ Collins, 27 points. Drake Allen with 14. 15 from Mason Falslev.
You were there. You watched the game. or you heard it all here on KVNU. So now it's your chance to give your thoughts and ask your questions about the action as KVNU Aggie Game Day continues with Aggie Call. The phone line is 435-753-KVNU. The text line is 435-554-1175. It's KVNU Aggie Call with J.D. Walker and Stockton Jukes.
That A is blue. It is beautiful outside. Take a listen, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the final moment sounded like from Media Row from Jason Walker. Storming onto the court, Stockton Jukes, J.D. Walker. Aggie Call is live, 435-554-1175 here in Cache Valley, home of the sole owner of the Mountain West Championship of the regular season. Stockton, do you have a voice left, my friend? I have seen Stockton very passionate over the last 2 years. This was about the top of that throughout the thing, and I'm pretty sure, my friend, you and the rest of Aggie Nation yelling through the TV, the radio there at the Spectrum helped wield these Aggies to a 94-90 win over the Lobos.
Yep, that was a roller coaster. That was pretty much everything you want out of a title game, right? You beat your rival, close game down the stretch, you get it done at the free throw line. They missed some big free throws.
The prodigal son
gets in their head. The prodigal son fouls out with like 5:14 to go, 4 points on 2 for 5 shooting. I really hope that extra $150K was worth it, buddy. But you're not going dancing, and we are. So, geez, the whole playing time argument, too, really goes out the window when you realize he's played less minutes for New Mexico than he did for us last year. So, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty cheeky right now. I'm feeling feisty, like I need to spend a lot of time on Twitter. But
we are going to enjoy the win. Let's not burn anything. Remember, Lobo Gabe is still in town. We got to make sure he gets back to Albuquerque in one piece. It's part of the interstate compact agreement we have between fans. But Stockton feeling pretty good. This was a close one. This team, a little bit of the weakness, what would be the kryptonite, could be possibly the rebounding game or the free throws. They made a difference at the charity stripe today. It paid off.
Yeah, that was huge, too. And we saw how bad those missed free throws hurt New Mexico down the stretch. If Boyan makes any of those 5 that he missed, New Mexico wins the game. And Utah State not able to pull away with it. There were some extremely questionable defensive plays down the stretch from Utah State. I don't know what they were thinking, trying to contest a 35-foot three-point shot with 7 seconds left. That's I think Colby King's going to be running suicides for that one. But my goodness, you still managed to get it done. 30 for 36 from the free throw line, 83%, 50% from the field, weathered 45% three-point shooting from New Mexico, including 32 points from Jake Hall, who at one point had half of New Mexico's points. He had 32 points when they had 64 on the scoreboard and didn't score after that. So,
well, Carson said it best post-game. Jake played his ass off. Oops.
Yep.
By the way, favorite Aggie status. That guy's just going to tell you exactly what it is. Carson playing way out there, talking about some of the stats. This is not something we have been able to celebrate throughout the year, so I'm going to celebrate. For the first half, the Aggies shot 12 for 15 from the free throw line, 80%. Second half, 18 for 21 for 85.7, 83.3% on 30 of 36. We will take it. I tell you what, this game, being able to execute there. We also saw the assist numbers, too. They hit that magic assist number throughout the game. Stockton, this was a well-rounded game. New Mexico coming in, giving us the best shot. It was 1-2 in a boxing match, like old school Friday night fights. One's got to win, one's got to lose. But I would not want to face New Mexico if coming up in the Mountain West tournament.
No, that's a tough team. And we're going to be looking very, very closely at the rest of the action in the Mountain West tonight because as it stands right now, after the Boise State win over Colorado State and after UNLV's loss last night at San Diego State, we're probably playing them on Thursday.
Well, you know what? That's a problem for Thursday. So right now, they're still screaming. If you listen, Yep, can still hear him screaming up there at the Spectrum. We hope to hear from Coach Calhoun. I checked in with Jason Walker a little bit ago. He said that they've got the festivities and the stuff to go. Of course, with Senior Day, they're doing the family stuff. It may be a little time before we hear from Coach Calhoun, or if we do, we might have to add it to the podcast feed a little bit later. But we're live here in Logan right now, 435-554-1175. We'll share some of our thoughts on the night. Also, get your thoughts on the text line, 435-554-1175. Up first, 9664. Congratulations to the Aggies on winning an outright regular season championship. What makes it even more impressive for the Aggies is that they only played Air Force in San Jose once, where a lot of the other teams played them twice each. So to be able to win it outright and having to play the toughest conference schedule available is really impressive. 9764, kind of saying a theme along the thing is something you were talking about during the game when you mentioned in Grand Canyon. Kind of got a little bit of a sweetheart schedule coming in, but this Aggie team really having to face the gauntlet and making a statement with their schedule.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I talked about a little bit in pregame. Grand Canyon's last four, they're probably going to finish in conference with 13 wins. Their last four games, after they came here, got a decent break. They went, or so it was a home against UNLV, at Utah State, at Air Force, first Fresno State. If you include their final six, they also played at San Jose State and lost at home against Wyoming. So they were pretty easy on the back end. So were a lot of these other teams. Utah State played Air Force on the road once. And then when you look at the rest of their conference schedule, they played Fresno State at home once, and they played San Jose State at home once way back in December. So the bottom three of the conference, you only got to face one time. You had to play everyone else twice, whereas basically everyone else in the Mountain West got to play those bottom feeders twice.
So, yeah, a tough schedule, but didn't matter at the end. The Aggies end up the year at that magical 25 wins, 6 losses. MJ Collin, the first one to cut down the net after his monster game against the Lobos. In the Spectrum, you see the herd right there under there. Mark Greenwood from the Statesman posting that. So
I'm combing through the Mountain West standings right now, trying to figure out what Thursday is going to look like. It is almost guaranteed now. Wyoming can't really move out of that 9 seed, and UNLV, unless Nevada loses a shocker at home against Air Force today, UNLV is going to be the 8 seed. So we're playing the winner of Wyoming and UNLV on Thursday at noon Pacific time, 1 p.m. Mountain time.
So all right, we got a noon game time. Hey, not 9 o'clock. Not 9 o'clock.
Yeah, who knows how we'll play against them when the sun's up.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. When the sun goes down, that's a little bit different. Vegas looks a lot different during the daytime.
It's scary. Don't go out there.
You see, you see Holy Moly and everybody else down there on the Strip, and you don't want to. I mean, you really see what it's like. The neon lights hide a lot of stuff. And so the Aggies going to have to do some business down there at the Thomas and Mack. Also during the game, you mentioned one of the clubs or athletic association or the student association had raised a significant amount of funds to be able to get the Aggies to travel. Now, I'm talking to students. NIL and all revenue sharing, that's different. I really love to support and kind of use whatever platform we have to support students going to support the stuff, because they're a lot of the time doing it on their own dime, but they got a significant donation to get a lot of those guys down there.
Yeah, President Sorensen announced on social media earlier today that the USA and I can't remember what the official organization name is, but they've pledged up to $15,000 towards tickets for Utah State fans at the Mountain West tournament. They want people down there. We're the number 1 seed, and we're going to need, it sounds like, all the help we can get on Thursday against the hometown team. So, I hate that that's the matchup we've pulled for the first round, but
I'm all right with it.
Nothing you can do except play the game. So,
I'll tell you what, the first time the Rams just dismantled the Seahawks. The second time a 2-point conversion got us, and the third time was on the way to the Super Bowl. So I believe third time's a charm. I'm going to go ahead and go with that, because you know what? 777s in Vegas, the threes, you got to look at it. And you know what? I'm pretty sure the Thomas and Mack has been home to some iconic Aggie moments in clutch, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I
mean, 2020 Sam Merrill in the face. It's the shot. Whenever you talk about Utah State basketball, you talk about the shot for Utah State. It's Sam Merrill in the 2020 Mountain West Tournament.
The Thomas and Mack is just like the Nevada steak of the Spectrum Southeast. I mean, that's it. Southwest. I mean, that's it. It's different. Everything's wiped out. Like, look at this. In New Mexico, New Mexico didn't even play as well as they did tonight. Like, they let us spank us at home. They come here in the Spectrum, and they said their prayers and ate their vitamins today, man, like Hulkamaniacs.
Jake Hall did. I don't know if anyone else did.
He was just incredible to watch. And you also have the thing that's unfortunate. You're like, are they going to be able to keep that young man, Jake Hall, there? Like, just like DGL down in UNLV. But these guys having huge performances. Jake Hall, monster tonight, doing everything he can to help the Lobos try to pull off an upset, but coming up short. 435-554-1175. We're here as long as you guys are. 2444. We've got a great win by the boys today. It's nice to win the conference outright and go to the conference tournament loose and stress-free. I hope we get UNLV in the quarterfinals. I want some revenge.
I'm going to adopt that mentality over the next 24 hours.
Revenge?
Yep. Listen, if they want to sweep the regular season series, that's fine. But if we can get back on them when it really matters in their own building, that means a whole lot for the rest of March.
Hey, look, they're struggling. Like Jason Walker of Full Court Press, Cache Valley Daily, shared that Utah State had gotten a gift, a $2.5 million gift over 5 years. One of the reporters for UNLV retweeted and said, "Oh, look, Boyd Gaming gave us $10 million.
Cool, so now you're only $17.5 million in the hole.
Then I retweeted it this morning when the Las Vegas Review-Journal said, hey, UNLV's still in the hole about $27 million. And then he wrote back that, that's been earmarked for something else. It's funny money that they're playing with in Vegas. Everything is kind of a house of cards. Like, you got Josh Pastner holding press conferences and only one media member showing up, and it's not even a true print or TV media. Now, they've gotten some pub as they've gotten hot and done some landmines and stuff, and they'll get coverage because they're there. But this Aggie team, Stockton, when they're playing on all cylinders, and even like today in a close win, they were able to keep hanging on and execute at the end. This Aggie team, the only team that will beat them in the Mountain West Conference is if they do not execute to their potential.
Yep, and we saw that on Tuesday night in Vegas. We saw that the first time around against UNLV. We saw that in Phoenix against Grand Canyon. We've seen it a couple times. We saw it in San Diego State. So Utah State, this is the hard thing about being built from the outside in and just having the kind of volatility that Utah State's had this season. But you really just live and die by that three ball. You look at our shooting today, 37% from three. We weathered a really crazy three-point shooting performance from them, but we also went 50% from the field and, made our free throws, got to the line. New Mexico built for the three ball. Jake Hall, 45% from three as a team, 7 for 17 from him, 5 for 6 from TJ Miller. And then no one else outside of that made a three-point shot. So, Uriah Tennant made one. That's the tough thing with teams like this when you're so volatile and then you play against another team that can shoot the ball as well as UNLV can, as well as New Mexico can. It really could go any way. The last 12 minutes of the game in the Spectrum fell apart for Utah State because they stopped hitting their shots and UNLV kept hitting theirs, and the Aggies just couldn't buy a bucket on Tuesday in Vegas when UNLV was shooting the lights out. I mean, they always shoot 10% over their season averages when they play us, but those have been at 9 p.m. games. I don't know how it's going to go on Thursday, especially after UNLV's coming off of a roughly 22-hour rest. So we'll see, but it does feel like Utah State's going to be better suited in that matchup. And
it's still not a given that they're going to beat the Cowboys and Coach Sundance Wicks. I mean, that team's been kind of a surprise for me this year. They're very streaky, but you can't count out a team coached by him. They're going to play it tough, and they're going to play it hard. A lot of people are probably already putting UNLV past Wyoming there in that opening round. You got to be careful because they'll take some of that stubbornness that you have to have living in Laradice to survive. They'll move that to the Thomas and Mack, and they'll blow up UNLV's season because I don't even think they're going to get called for the NIT. I know the crown or the Royal Crown they have in April is like a little thing I think UNLV is a part of that next season or something. But really, there's no give-me's. And I'll even say that for the Aggies, too. This is not a season where I think the number 1 or number 2 seed Stockton in the Mountain West tournament can consider it a walk in the park.
No. No one should consider this tournament a walk in the park. Not a chance. If you're coming in and thinking that you're the best in the Mountain West by a mile, pull your head out of your rear end. Like, we talked about this a lot in the pregame, right? The parity in this conference is so crazy. It's one of the things that makes it so unique, but it's a talented conference where everyone 1 through 9 right now, I'd say, is a threat in the Mountain West. Wyoming can pull off some crazy games out of the blue. We've seen that a couple times from them. We were just talking about one of them where Wyoming goes to Phoenix, I think, and wins that game. Let me double check here. No, excuse me. They lost that game by 5. It was,
but still holding Grand Canyon that close at home. They're the definition of a Claymore mine.
Yeah, and Wyoming's had some crazy road wins too. They went, let's see, at Grand Canyon, they won 70-65. So I was right. I just read the box score wrong. They went to Phoenix and won that game. They're at San Jose State right now. That's probably going to be a comfortable win. They almost took down Fresno State. 3-point game at the end of that one. That was kind of a crazy finish. Obviously won at Air Force. They've had some sneaky home wins too. They took down UNLV already this season, 98-66 in Laradice. 32-point win against the team they're playing on Wednesday. So that bodes well for us. But they kind of come out of nowhere sometimes and have these sneaky good games. They took down Nevada by 10 points the other night. So it really just 1 through 9. I think you're going to see Air Force go out quietly and without much resistance.
We appreciate their other contributions to the country. And one of the Wyoming Cowboys, one of the football players, actually passed up on their pro day because he was hired by the Air Force to become a fighter pilot. So it's, Air Force is there. They are the crown jewel of the new Mountain West.
Yep. So Air Force is going to be the doormat. I don't expect San Jose State to put up much of a fight. Fresno State could pull off a shocker in that first day. I wouldn't be too surprised with that. Wyoming, I think,
just depends on if they're shaving that day or not. Yep. Points or their facial hair.
One or the other. Yeah. I really think Wyoming UNLV is going to be a very interesting game to watch. It's either going to go one of two ways. It's going to be a battle back and forth. It's decided in the final 30 seconds, or one of the teams is going to go on a run in the first 5 minutes and not look back. So I'll be interested to see how that game goes on Wednesday night. That is the 8-9 game is at noon Pacific, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Mountain West Network on Wednesday. We will play the winner of that game at noon Pacific, 1 p.m. Mountain Time the following day, Thursday, the 12th, on CBS Sports.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break here. Coming back, still more text. We hope to hear from Coach Calhoun. Jason Walker here in a little bit, 435-554-1175. The text line's open to celebrate your Mountain West champion, Utah State Aggies.
Passion, enthusiasm, extraordinary skill. Isn't that what you want from a chef? From salads to seafood, wood-fired pizzas to unique pastas and succulent steaks, the Elements Restaurant chefs have spent hours creating choices for you. A casual dining experience for lunch or dinner with daily specials and menu choices that always deliver excellence. The Elements is a complete dining experience for everyday dining and for special occasions in your life. Appreciate elevated simplicity. Only at the Elements Restaurant, 750-5171.
Need a great deal near USU? Mention Aggie 79 and score a room at the Baum Hotel for just $79. Enjoy charming, homey hospitality in downtown Logan. You'll love the clean, spacious rooms and friendly, attentive staff. Take advantage of free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and a seasonal outdoor pool. At that price, it can't be beat. $79 rooms with Aggie 79 at the Baum Hotel. Value every day of the week. Call 435-752-5220. That's 752-5220.
Hi, this is Emily with Serenoni. Some gifts say happy birthday, some say congratulations, and some say I'm thinking of you. At Serenoni, we believe the best gifts tell a story. That's why we personalize our ultra soft minky blankets with custom embroidery, names, and meaningful details that turn them into something truly special. Perfect for new babies, birthdays, sports teams, weddings, and even in times of loss. When a little comfort means everything. Because when a gift is personal, it becomes part of their story. Shop online at Serenoni.com or visit our showroom on 10th West right next to iFit.
The home of Aggie basketball, with pregame beginning 1 hour before tip-off and postgame interviews and Aggie call after the game on News Talk KVNU Logan.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. Life is good. Life at My Mattress is good too. Why might I say that? Because today is a good day to slay a Goliath. The other day I went into a mattress store here in Logan that has 2,500 stores across the country. I'd say that's a Goliath. We were 20% less expensive on every bed that we both offer. We may not have 2,500 stores, but we are number one in Cache Valley. Better product and better prices. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally? Only at My Mattress.
Express Tire, tires for less. In and out with zero stress. Express Tire, tires for less. In and out with zero stress.
Express Point S, 3200 North Main.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you.
It's Aggie Call with J.D. Walker and Stockton Jukes. Call 435-753-KVNU or text 435-554-1175.
That A is blue on top of Old Main here on KVNU. Aggie Call set at 44 degrees on a beautiful Saturday afternoon as your Aggies are the sole champions of the Mountain West Conference for this season, 2025-2026. Stockton Jukes, J.D. Walker with you here on KVNU. 435-554-1175 to sound off on the text line. 435-554-1175. Up next, we got 0500. All the seniors certainly contributed. I love how Keller finished. Congratulations to the rest of the team. This Mountain West tournament will be the toughest ever for the number one seed. I know we can make it out of the first round, or hope we can make it out of the first round. I think a 6-8 seed if we win the tourney too. Go Aggies. Yeah, a lot of speculation. I saw some of the stuff that says the Aggies a 9 seed. I've seen some stuff the 7 seed. Of course, Stockton, that's going to be a lot about how they do in the tournament. And it is, I mean, congratulations. You just went through training at Paris Island to go do the next level training for SEAL training during the Mountain West tournament.
Now you're going to Desert Storm. Good luck.
It went from hard to harder. I mean, and then the tournament's going to be hardest. But Stockton, the team did it. They made it through the first leg of the season. Now 2 more to go. You got the Mountain West tournament, and then hopefully, I'm not counting my chickens, but going dancing.
Yeah, we're going dancing. That's,
I just don't want to count any chickens yet.
I know what you mean, but we're going dancing. We're going to be in the mountains. We can lose on Thursday by 30 points and still go dancing. It's gonna be fine.
So I asked Bobby Joe Mackey to my kindergarten prom, and I was hoping, but she was the most popular girl in school, and it never happened. So since that day, I don't count my omelets before they hatch.
I get that, but Utah State's 25-6, a bad performance in a conference tournament where conference tournaments are always chaotic. It's not going to take them out of the field.
But see, you're using logic in college basketball, my friend. That's what scares me. 9315 up next here on the text line. Still time for you to get in. 435-554-1175. All right, man, we got 9315 on here. Told you, cool as a cucumber would work. Bring on the celebration. No need to be cool as a cucumber. Time to party all night. We need some quiet riot. Just make sure you keep it in between the navigational buoys. 9315. After today's game, it will make the hype train even bigger, but we got to win more games and show them how good Camp Calhoun and Coach Calhoun could be. Was the Aggie called during the game? Kind of a cool cucumber, hence the fire. I don't know if this GIF will make good radio. Yeah, I see it. Excited for UNLV. Get after it. When a tough road is better than a win on an easy road, it'll eventually help. I totally see that, 9315. Yeah. You know, iron refines iron. You know, you get in there, the fire refines you. You sharpen these things by these things. Like, if you're not battle-tested, Stockton, you don't know what you can face. These guys have faced up and down throughout the season.
Yeah, I think UNLV, I think, is hitting their stride in the last few weeks, and that's cause for concern as we go into the tournament. But Utah State got punched in the mouth a couple times and came back out and still found a way to win the regular season title. 4 different times in the last 3 weeks they threw away a chance to secure it and still managed to get the job done when all was said and done. This is something that we couldn't do. We couldn't finish the job last season. They did it this time. I'm definitely a little concerned about some repetitive patterns, but I feel like tonight they really had a good sense of where we need to go and where we need to improve. They had a great game plan tonight, and despite Jake Hall making it rain from deep, they still got the job done.
4139. I understand what you're saying. I hear it, but those analogies are used in sports all the time, all across the world, in every instance. I apologize that you took offense to war analogies in sports, but that's what's going on right now. I mean, I'm one of a billion, so I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. Up next, 435-554-1175, 6021. Are you guys worried that Gloria will find a way to sabotage us, Boise State? No, I know there's conspiracies and things like that go on, and I understand you'd want to rig things, and I did a long time working for Coast to Coast AM overnight with Art Bell and conspiracies, aliens, you name it. There's so many eyes on this, and if you screw with sports these days, if we've seen in the NBA and other places, the federal government's starting to come after you. So I really don't think manipulation, especially referee manipulation, is a reasonable thing.
Let's be clear, though. She's not happy that we won the regular season title today. She's not happy that we're not sharing it with New Mexico, and she's not going to be happy if we take the auto bid and run with it and the Mountain West becomes a one-bid league.
But the commissioner of the Mountain West does...
She's not going to get her hands dirty.
Yeah, but she does want to continue to be in the position, make a living, support her family, continue her career. So, like, these conspiracy theories of puppet weaving that would just decimate careers, yes, there are idiots that are dumb enough to do it, but you don't get into a position to be a commissioner of a league and put risky stuff like that, like to risk it all, to risk your career, your livelihood, your reputation forever, your integrity, to rig it. I don't think there's going to be. We know the referees, and you can look at them on KenPom. Like, you break down the ratings. You know what Vern was in the building tonight, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you know, like, and I'm learning. Amy Bonner is a bad word in some parts of the Mountain West Conference.
If I see that name on stat broadcast at any point next weekend, I'm going to lose my mind.
Up next, so I don't think there's any conspiracy theories, but
if we get called perception is a big thing.
Yeah, if we get called for 50 fouls in the Thomas and Mack, you will find me with my big A tinfoil hat on.
If we've got the opponent in the bonus before the opponent has even been called for a foul, 11 minutes into the second half at some point in the tournament, my eyebrows are gonna be raised. But don't. This is a great quote. Don't attribute to malice what could easily be attributed to incompetence.
Yeah.
So refs, a lot of refs out there in the league right now, in the NCAA and the NBA and every major sport in this country, are incompetent. So it's not always malicious; it's just stupid.
That's true. And at the end of the day, we are human too. I have umpired a couple of Little League games that have gotten pretty tense. You know, those T-ballers, those coaches, they can get fired up. Me too. My wife has stories about that also. 9764 with another text. Don't sleep on Wyoming against UNLV. They can beat them. At least I hope it's a close game, possibly overtime. 9764. I'm hoping for like a quadruple overtime. Let's move back the start time for the next game the next day because they had to play so late.
Well, and like I said earlier in this season, granted it was 2 months ago on January 6th in Laramie. Wyoming beat UNLV 98-66. Now, Wyoming shot 55% from the field in that game, 43% from three. And UNLV shot 38% from the field, 45% from three, which is that's their averages. That's their season averages. That's where they're supposed to be. Wyoming even turned the ball over more than UNLV did, but where they really won the game, 43 rebounds to 29 for UNLV. And that's where I think that, despite the fact that we're out-rebounding UNLV, they're still finding ways to win against us because they're shooting so far above their season averages. That's not always going to be the case for them. They've played good games against us, but those good games, you want to look back at their schedule, they win by 10 against us, they go on a 4-game skid. They beat us 92-65 at home. They go to San Diego State, they lose by 3. They lost at Grand Canyon by 13. They lost at home against Colorado State by 5. They lost on the road against Nevada, on the road against Fresno State, at home against New Mexico by 28 points. So it's a very beatable team. If Wyoming can take care of them for us, very helpful. That being said, I think there's still a pathway to a victory against UNLV if it comes to that on Thursday.
Up next on the text line, still time for you. Several texts stacking up here. The conversation continues. 435-554-1175. Sound off on what you saw tonight. Your thoughts on the Mountain West Tournament, the season for the Aggies. 435-554-1175. I will read what you text. Now, I do have to filter some things for the FCC, and, a little Stacy Walker is listening, so I've run that, because if it's okay for her ears, then we can be okay. 9292. Dayton Albury is in the Epstein files, Bible and sword. Okay. 5929. The Dayton train continues. Wearing sunglasses during a game is such a Shadur Sanders move. Maybe they'll retire his jersey. Dayton's so weird. Why is he even here? Certified Lobo boy, certified pedophile. Wop, wop, wop. Little Kendrick Lamar dropping there from 5929. The glasses where he got poked in the eye a couple games ago? He got a elbow or something in the eye?
He's got an eye injury right now, so it's a protective thing. We can hate on him for a lot of other reasons, and we can give him crap for a lot of other things, but he's just protecting his eyes.
We can't be thankful, because I heard postgame that Dayton leaving got us MJ and Gary. I mean, the cost. I mean, it shows you really, you go to the store, you want to get the best bang for your buck. You got to do it in the transfer portal too, and a lot of times, Stockton, you're buying sight unseen. You're buying MJ Collins, an 8-point-a-game guy, but you've got to kind of put that into your metrics and go, how is he going to flourish in this system, and how is it going to go? And, Dayton made his choice, and he went down and had the season that he had with the Lobos, and Coach Calhoun had to pivot, and MJ Collins and Gary Clark came to us, and the Mountain West Championship did too.
Yeah, this was being framed in November on social media as, Utah State lost big in this thing. Dayton Albury came over here. He's going to get more playing time. He's going to be a star for the Lobos. Let's consult the statistics, why don't we? Because I usually find that that's a really good way to clear some of this stuff up. Dayton Albury on the season for New Mexico, averaging 25 minutes a game, 11.7 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists per game. Not terrible numbers. Is New Mexico going to the dance this year?
No, unless they win. I mean, they've got to win it, right?
They have to win it. Did Dayton Albury have to sell his soul to complete the move? Yes, he did. Calhoun said he would do anything he could to keep Albury in town. And Dayton Albury said on senior night, hey, I'm planning to stay here.
That's right. Because
Calhoun got him $250,000. Calhoun got him a brand new car. Calhoun got his girlfriend a place to stay. And then New Mexico floated him an extra $150K, and he said, okay, I'm out of here, despite what Calhoun has done for me, despite the interest this program has shown in me, despite the faith they've put in me. And this is why, and this stuff is coming out now, this is why at the beginning of the season I said I'm never cheering for him if he's not in a Utah State jersey. Like, this is a guy that completely selfishly blew up this program, blew up everything they did for him, and now he's getting to sit on the couch in March and watch his former team play in the big dance. Womp womp.
Got it nice. 4147 here on the text line. How do we contribute to getting the herd tickets to the tournament? Stockton, I'm going to see if you can't go to Ben's page or the herd's page to see if we can get that locked down. Up next on the text line, 60, so 4147. We're working on that answer right now to get you kind of a direction we can point you to. 6056 next on the text line. Seems like the Aggies have taken a step back after the Memphis game. Should we have passed on this game? Seem a little out of sync. I guess my Nana said shoulda, woulda, coulda, ain't going to do you no gooda. So, I mean, we can look at it. Would the rest have had a different results at the end of the season? Would, 25, are we 25-6? So would have 27-4 in a Mountain West Championship felt better today to have it locked up? Or, getting through this and going through kind of the fire, being refined, having to go through some struggles, not just cruising through on cruise control so that you know what this team is through adversity. You know what your players are through adversity. The coaching staff knows how everybody reacts. And then the guys on the floor, each game, they get more familiar. And I think you're seeing that more and more with the play. So you can go back and do a lot of hindsight in 2020, a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if that would have been the magic key to change this. It's kind of like messing with the multiverse. Going back in time, you change one timeline, it's going to mess up everything. So who's to say that, we don't play that game, the Aggies go on a giant collapse, And we're talking about ending the season on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. There's a lot of what ifs that could have been played. So that's something really curious to see, like how the scheduling will be laid out next season. I think we'll get a little, maybe an inclination more, maybe some more discussion or insight from Coach Calhoun when the next schedule rolls out for next year on this one.
Yeah, I think that I didn't love how it played out in terms of what it did to our metrics and how it really didn't help us at all. That being said, when it was scheduled, it was a great idea. And sometimes in sports, things just don't work out the way you think they're going to work out, and that's okay. Yeah, it's a little frustrating that you lose a rest day, and maybe that does affect you on the recent road trips. But at the end of the day, 25-6, 15-5 in the Mountain West, top of the table. Like I'm not losing any sleep over that, and I haven't been for a little bit now.
I've got to. I mean, it's definitely on the list. Like I've got questions for this offseason, things I want to see how they develop. Will the conference schedule just remain the conference schedule next year? Will we have an outlier for a non-conference? Will we have any other bigger matchups? Will bigger teams want to come to the Spectrum?
No, they don't.
Or are Aggies going to have to pack their bags and go out?
Teams won't even let us do that. We've offered a 2-1 to BYU for the last 3 seasons in a row. We've offered to go down to their building. We've offered to do whatever they need to do to accommodate, but they'd rather play Cal State Northridge during their non-con.
Okay, there's a difference between Utah State and BYU. One program wants to win championships and work towards growing and working as a program. The other wants to develop first-round draft picks in the NBA. That is flat out. I mean, there you go. I mean,
and we're seeing it right now because it's not about the team for BYU. It's about the individual, and it always has been.
And like when Richie, not to go into it too much, but AJ's been amazing. I mean, he is a phenomenal player, and I don't. But man, it just goes to show. And
you lose Richie Saunders, and what happens to you?
Well, like I hate to bring this up to Jazz fans, but I was really excited when Karl Malone and Gary Payton came to play for the Lakers for a little bit. I loved Malone and Stockton. But, man, they weren't the sauce. It wasn't. They weren't the superheroes that could come together. You saw other teams, other super teams that come together like that.
Karl Malone was as good as he was because of John Stockton and vice versa.
Yeah, they played together. They were the 1 and 2. That team just doesn't have, like, the team continuity. You've got guys that can put it on their back and score 50 a night. But this Utah State team, I really feel like they're built to win games and overcome as a team. We had talked MJ kind of fall off points production-wise tonight when you had to have it. That's what matters. If you want to win as a collective team unit, you've got to be able to pick each other up, not just on the games, but on the stretches that somebody's going down. And then tonight, MJ elevated above everyone else.
We've seen it, and we've said it time and again this year. Utah State plays their very best when they move the ball effectively, and they share the basketball. And it's not one guy trying to throw up 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. And you just keep it moving because that way it can be so difficult as a basketball player when you're out there on the floor and you feel all of the pressure of the offense on you. You're thinking, I'm the only guy. That's what Jake Hall was feeling halfway through the second half. And that's why he didn't score for the back half of that second half is because he felt all the pressure, thought he just had to jack up every shot he could get his hands on, and he started missing them. Utah State had 4 guys with at least 14 points tonight. MJ, obviously, with 27, nailed him as player of the game today. Very, very happy to see him come back to form at the most important part of the season, in the most important game of the season. Thrilled for him. I cannot believe how good it's got to feel to have that monkey off his back. That's awesome. 7 for 14 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Nails on the chalkboard. 14 from Drake, 15 from Mason, 15 from KT. Like that's 4 of your starting 5 guys right there that just know how to get the job done.
And let's talk about the fact that he also has that one stat, the clipped net at the end of the game. 4147, just shot you a text. I found the official link from the Herd to support students going down there, Stockton.
I have also reached out directly to some of the guys with the Herd, so I will let you guys know as soon as I hear back from them. But social media right now is the best way to go.
And right now, if you want the link, I will copy and paste the link to you. If you want to text us here, it's 435-554-1175. Stated a little bit earlier, revenue share, NIL, that's the stuff for Eric and Jason and those guys to talk about. But when it comes to supporting the students, going to support the athletes, all for it. So if you would like that link, I could send it to you. It's giving.usu.edu campaigns. But the text line, 435-554-1175, you can request that link. But also sound off on what you saw, 435-554-1175. Up next, I think we've got...
4177.
We got another Gloria. Gloria doesn't have anything to do with the referees in the Mountain West. They come from the Western Officials Consortium.
Correct. So, again, don't attribute to malice what could easily be attributed to incompetence. They're just bad.
4177, the voice of reason there. I like it because that paints a little picture. You know, I know the referees, they have tendencies, and I love the fact, I didn't know that they track them on KenPom until a couple weeks ago. It's kind of cool to see who calls what game you can expect. And I imagine, I don't know how far out the schedule is for the referees, but I imagine if the coaches see it, they kind of know how a game's going to be called. So that's it. I don't think Gloria, as the commissioner, has as much puppet string power as she is not the man behind the curtain. Like it's not as powerful as I think we think it is, but would she like things to go the other way? Would she like Air Force to be the reigning Mountain West champion? Absolutely. But that's just not the way to go.
No, it's again, I think our fans are very passionate, and they look for reasons that we lost that don't have anything to do with the performance of the team, even when the performance of the team is at fault. So,
and let me be so clear about this. I put myself in that because I have blamed myself for football and Seahawks losses because I didn't sit in the same spot on the couch or wear the same jersey or something. Superstitions are all there. You're going to find it. And we are passionate as sports fans. And sometimes you got to remember that fan is short for fanatics. 3052, a couple texts coming in here. Still time to talk to you at 435-554-1175. Waiting to hear from Jason Walker to see if we will hear from Mr. Coach Calhoun. But up next, 3052, what's up with Calhoun never contesting a call? Some obvious opportunities today that were passed up. I know we see, I know the players do too, but Stockton, there is a dedicated coach with the iPad that has the stream or has the camera angles that's able to look at it and see it real quick before plays resumed. Coach Calhoun is relying on his coaching staff to make those calls. It's not coach just going, hey, do this, hey, do this. It's a lot like the NFL where their guys upstairs are looking at the film, right?
There's only two instances of this game that I can think of where a challenge may have been warranted. The first one, I think they let go because it's a bang-bang play. It'll be hard to overturn, and we're up 7 like 6 minutes into the game. The second one on the other end of the floor, towards the end of the second half, when Colby King had that ball tapped out and then he thought it went off of the New Mexico player. When they showed the replay on the broadcast, his hand was still on the ball when it was being pushed out by the New Mexico player, and it really looked like his fingertips were on the ball last. So again, one that I think was hard to overturn, and you're up by a couple possessions at that point, so it's not worth throwing away the timeout and giving up the possession to challenge a call that you're not completely sure of. I think Calhoun's done a good job of challenging calls that he's confident in, but he's also good about not wasting challenges on those 50-50 calls because those can burn you. You lose 2 timeouts all of a sudden on 2 bad challenges. You get down the stretch, you're shooting those free throws, bad defensive schemes in the last 20 seconds of the game. You don't have a timeout to get organized. So I'm okay with the no challenge there.
Up next, 6059. One more. Is MJ NBA material? I think he is. I think there's a refinement to his game that could be. I think I definitely see him playing professional ball, whether that's G League, developmental, overseas, or something like that. A lot of our guys are balling out. In fact, Dexter Acano having a game. I saw Utah State Film Room post about him this afternoon. We've got Aggies all over the place. It wouldn't shock me, especially with 2 current Aggies making some noise. Neemias Queta doing amazing things, and he's going to pick up even more minutes. They picked up a big man there in Boston to split some minutes with him, but that guy, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand or something. So Neemi's going to get more. Having a breakout season. He's under contract to Boston for 1 more year, looking to get that breakout here soon. But you got Sam Merrill in Cleveland. I got to imagine that NBA scouts, they're looking for talent anywhere and anywhere. if they think MJ can play, if they think Mason can play, if they think these guys can play, they're going to find a way to talk to him. I think MJ is a very talented young man, and you saw when he got this chance, he stepped up. Going to the phone line here on KVNU. It's been a while, my friend, Mr. Gio. How you doing?
Hey, guys. How are you?
We were kind of worried about you. We were going to put your picture on the side of some Aggie ice cream and say, hey, if seen, please have him call into Aggie Call.
Well, I missed you. I had some technical difficulties, but we got it all figured out now. So that was a great game. Great to see the win. There were a couple things that I thought were interesting. The one call or non-call on Zach Keller's shoulder. I'm sure glad he's okay, because I believe that may have been a personal foul in a football game with a blindside block, right?
Yeah, it was pretty heavy, and it looked like it just looked like he came down right on top of him.
Wilkinson said something on the broadcast, though, that it kind of frustrated me at first, but it makes sense to me in retrospect. That's just kind of how that goes down low when you've got two guys trying to get up into the air to fight for a rebound. The arms get above the shoulders and above the head, and they clash, and you got two guys trying to get in the same space that only one person could fit in. So, yeah, maybe you can call a foul there, but I think I would be frustrated if it was called on Utah State on the other end of the floor, so I'm okay with letting that go. It just really didn't look very good.
Yeah, I'll have to disagree. I'll have to agree to disagree with you on that one, Stockton. But, hey, I wanted to hear your thoughts on actually winning a game with free throw shooting for once.
I certainly wasn't yelling at the TV as much as I usually do.
No, there was a lot of thank heavens and and like you can almost feel it. Like, you hold your breath for the first couple of free throws in the game, and if they start sinking, you start feeling better. And that's how today felt. Did you get that, Gio, there? Is once they start sinking, you feel like, all right, this isn't going to be the kryptonite today.
Well, there's a couple of guys up there. I just know they're 1 for 2, and they were exceeding my expectations consistently today. And we don't win without that. So the other thing is, I heard you talking about Dayton Albury a little bit, and I always have loved the way he gets after it. It seems like he's got so many tools, but doesn't always play smart. If the refs would have been calling a decent, calling his play decently, he would have fouled out in 15 minutes. He would have fouled out in the first half.
I agree.
They let him get away with so much.
He was very physical. They mentioned it on the TV broadcast that the Drake and Dayton battle back and forth was something. But you can see the difference between, in the positive way, Drake is a defensive stalker. He stalks his prey. He's quick with his movements. on the other hand, he's just in there, and he's very physical and he's trying to make you make a mistake. And I think you're right, Gio. He got away with a lot of contact in that first half.
Well, and the one thing that I saw there, too, is it made me realize some of the improvement that Drake has made with his handle this year. Because I think last year with that kind of pressure, he might have had a real tough time. Maybe even would have folded. Elijah Perriman has a pretty good handle, and he had a real difficult time with his minutes were shortened because of it. So, but like you said, all's well that ends well for the Aggies on that. So, great game. Hope to see you guys down in Vegas. Go Aggies.
All right, take care, Gio. Thanks for calling in. Man, it's been a little bit since we heard from our friend Gio. He's always with us on the games after football, but great to hear during basketball season. Looks like we got another text coming in here right now, 9696, and we're going to be wrapping it up here in a couple minutes, seeing if we've got the audio from postgame yet. I don't think so. With all the activities going on, I know that they were having families up there meeting in the Estes afterwards. See if we got no, not yet. I'll check Jason's thing. But 9696. Speaking of refs, I believe one of the refs today was named Nate Harris. Never thought I'd cringe at the name Nate Harris in the Spectrum.
Yes. Yep. Nate Harris and Vern Harris. What a duo. I think we do have one more that we glanced over from 0158 here.
Okay.
Yeah, because we sent them over the link. But 0158 saying, wow, 32 points for number 23 for UNM. That's Jake Hall. You need to guard your mom during the conference tournament. Yeah, listen, that kid's a shooter.
Oh,
he's just so fluid with the basketball. He can finish well. He's very intelligent as a basketball player. He can create the contact that he needs to get to the line and just bait defenders into those fouls, get them off the ground, and that's that. It's so frustrating as a defender down low, but it's such a smart and basketball-aware thing for a freshman to do so consistently. So he's incredible. 0158 continues and says, go Aggies, beat UNLV in the second round. If someone wants to go to Vegas on Friday for the championship game on Saturday, give them my number. Go Aggies. We love Jason Walker, J.D. Walker, and Stockton Jukes. If Jalen Moore is there, I can beat him in a game of basketball, but for sure Carson Templin. I'll organize it if we need to. We'll live stream it and everything. I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, Jalen was running one of the camps today, so we talked to him a little bit earlier today. He was unavailable, but pretty sure we'll be talking to him on Thursday. Stockton, we're going to walk it out, my friend. That wraps up. The text line has gone a little bit silent here, 435-554.
It's party time, friends.
1175. Yep, have a good time. Great time tonight. Enjoy it. Of course, as always, keep it in between the navigational buoys.
And if you can't, there are Ubers in the Cache Valley. So
and Lambo Feeties. It's not going to be that cold tonight. It's 43 degrees. It's like springtime outside.
Buzzer beater text here from 8824. Time to go get Hall next year.
Well, you know what?
We'll give you Dayton if we can take Jake.
I tell you what, Jake may want to play, in an upgraded conference, not in the Mountain West Conference next year, where they got to face NIU, and I'm pretty sure like Harvard Penitentiary College. Final thoughts as we get on out of here, Mr. Stockton?
Another great season, I think, for Utah State. We want to compare this season with last season, 25-6 in the regular season, 15-5 in the Mountain West, top of the table where we belong. Last year, 15-5 in conference, 26-8 on the season, but New Mexico at 17-3 ended up taking that regular season title. So got to get back on them. There's something about playing New Mexico at the beginning of March for a Mountain West title that just really brings it out of Utah State. I think back to the Darius Brown 3 that secured the regular season title in 2024. It's fun to go back and forth with those guys. And for as much as we go back and forth on social media and as hot as that rivalry gets and as physical and as chippy as it gets on the court, I'm going to miss those guys, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss them. It's a great matchup. It's a great game, and I hope that we're able to find some space on the schedule for them in the next few years.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Stockton Jukes. I'm J.D. Walker. The Aggies are Mountain West Conference champions for the regular season. Looks like they will be playing the winner of the Wyoming UNLV game, and we will talk to you 11 o'clock.
It'll be noon for us on Thursday. Noon tip-off in Vegas, 1 p.m. tip-off in Utah.
Okay.
So we'll be live at noon on Thursday, the 12th, spring break. No excuses. Don't miss it.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us. Have a good one. Keep it in between the buoys, Cache Valley, and go Aggies.
We may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy.
This Utah State broadcast has been a presentation of News Talk KVNU and the Cache Valley Media Group, the heritage home for the Aggies.